Sahanavadu Sahanavadu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yes.
First thing is, you know, the disturbing boundaries. So, the way you do it is intellectually analyze, and the strength of the memory will become there, and maybe you can keep it. Is that the way to do it?
Yes, there are different ways each one can do whatever way you want. When we say Shaucham, first we have to understand what is the meaning of the word that is. Shaucham is generally taken by people as cleanliness. Keeping clean. That is not Shaucham. So Shaucham here is references to the subtle. Because when you come to religion, or when you come to spiritual, when you come to philosophy, when you come to Vedanta, first thing we remove is the body. We don't factor in the body. Meaning anything that is connected to the body, we don't factor in. That's not essential. But that doesn't mean body needs to be completely dropped. That's not the meaning, please. That's why we say body first lecture. He always starts with body is a vehicle. How much importance you will give for your vehicle is the same importance you have to give it to your body. Nothing more, nothing less. Just because you are having a fantastic canvas doesn't mean anything with reference to the painting, is it not? Your skill of painting has got nothing to do with the canvas. So in a painting class, what do? They train you for painting, not get how you can make the canvas better. That doesn't mean canvas has no references. Without a canvas, on the logic lines, okay. So taking a clue from there, we have to understand what is the meaning of the word Shaucham. And in what way Shaucham has got to do with Jnanam. Next investigation we go into is, sometimes in the context it may have a value. Does this virtue has anything to do with Jnanam? Keeping things clean, is it got to do with Jnanam? That does mean keep it unclean. See, don't go to the opposite. What is referred is only this. But 99% of the time what happens is, we start from external. So first we remove that. In understanding what is Shaucham. What is the meaning of the word? Purity means what? It's not environmental. It's not physical. Then where it starts? It starts from your mind. What is mental purification? Mental purification means what? How are you going to cleanse your mind? How can you do that? Cleaning. If there is a dirt in the shirt, you know how to clean. You can buy, is that Vim bar? Vim bar. Oh, sorry. Vim is for vessels, no? No, Vim has, washing machine liquids. Don't think I'm so dumb. None of you are having this. Vim is there. Go and check in Amazon. Last week I ordered. Rin soap. You buy, no? Apply the soap. Then there are a group of people saying that's organic. Let's go nature. You buy something, you do. Apply, you clean. Now with how you are going to purify your mind. Mental purification. So what is the meaning of mental purification? First fix that. Mental purification means, I said before going into the finer aspects, first is to remove the memories which are agitating, which causes agitation. How do you remove is a very different equation. Right? How do you remove is a different question. How do you remove that? That depends upon what type of a personality you are. See, we cannot give one universal formula. If you are having a semi-automatic washing machine, top load, front load, then you ask this question, no? Now, can you put rinse soap into the top load and expect it to clean? It will not. You need to use a liquid. Then when you say that I have to use a liquid, then you immediately the fellow will ask you, are you having top load or front load? Because the process is different. This works in one way, that works in one way. So it depends on what you are having. Similarly, how is always dependent on the student. So in student, we ask the first question, what is your nature? Right. That is the method to go about. If you want to develop this shaucham, mental purity, how your memories were getting retained, all that agitating memories are getting sustained, retained today. Why? Because it is constantly fed. You are feeding it. Since you are feeding that, it is there. If you stop feeding, it will die. How the feeding happens? One is you recalling itself. Another one is similar situations keeps triggering it. Correct? Similar people, similar contacts, similar things which usually gives you the trigger. That can cause. So we say, first what you need to do before you work on you feeding that, your own mind going back and reliving it, replaying it. One, which is more difficult. Stopping that is more difficult. What is easier? The easiest one to do is control the feeding. Control the stressors first. What triggers it? identify what triggers that. What trigger getting information about this is triggering jealousy. Don't keep asking. What is the profit of the neighbor? Don't keep asking. You know, how much your friend scored? Don't ask. You have written the exam, you got the marks. No, get out. You'll never do that. First thing we check is whose number. How much you got? Oh, the fellow asked for additional sheet. All of you would have forgotten. If someone were to ask for additional sheet when you're writing the exam, what a tension. You. Just to irritate, you used to take. Ask for additional sheet. It's amazing to see. In what way he getting additional sheet is going to trigger, but it triggers. It triggers that insecurity. It triggers that fear. Then why are you looking there? You are writing your answer. Keep looking here. That's how you have to start. That is why Shaucham, easiest way to start with is to start with this satsang. Develop this satsang. Satsang means people who do not agitate you. Sometimes you may be enjoying agitation, then nothing can be done. Follow. There is a group enjoying agitation. That means something wrong with you. See. So beware of that. So one method, satsang. General one like this. And if you are an emotional type of a personality, then devotion is another method. Developing an affection and affinity towards the higher. That's called devotion. Affection and affinity towards the higher is called bhakti. By constantly appreciating the higher, slowly these things will remove. The best form of doing that is through this, not through the temples. You're going to the temple, nothing will happen. Don't think, okay, well, from tomorrow I'll go to temples. We say devotion here, what we are referring to is appreciating the Puranas, reading their stories, how Rama lived, how Parashurama implicitly followed the instructions of his father. No class, no subjected to. Without no conditions applied. Rama says that. He is telling that to Kaushalya. He is about to when after this, information goes to Kausalya, Rama goes to see her. That Father has asked me to go. I have come here to take your blessings. He asks him, see, why do you have to follow that? No conditions. There's no conditions applied. When you follow the instructions of the higher, no conditions applied. You only taught that to me. You taught that. You taught that to me through the stories. Mahabali. What was it? All other avatars of Vishnu comes, there's an Asura, and he has been causing so much of pain, so much of problem to the Devas, to the Rishis, all those people, barring his sect, all other species were tortured. Vishnu takes an avatar, comes, kills. Mahabali's story is an exception. He doesn't come, he doesn't kill him. Why? He couldn't do anything. Why he couldn't do anything? Up to Vamana entry, Mahabali's stand was what? Mahabali was following whatever his guru was saying. Literally was following. No exception. No conditions applied. The moment his guru, Shukracharya, he saw this young brahmachari walking in, he understood who is that. And he understood for what he is coming. With all that, he gives an instruction to Mahabali. Don't give him. This fellow starts giving a lecture about dharma. Mahabali gives a lecture to Shukracharya. The moment you start lecturing to your guru, your downfall starts. Who taught this? So long as he was implicitly following the instructions of his guru, Mahabali was safe. All the three worlds were under his control. The moment he deferred from the instruction, what happens? Lost everything. Next moment, he lost everything. That is a clear agenda of Vishnu. As he knows, this guy has got into this head. Same way, Parashurama's story also, who taught me? You are the one who taught me that. The father calls Parashurama and says, chop off the head of the mother. No, he didn't ask him for what, why, nothing. Goes, chops, comes back. And Mamadagni says, oh, I'm so happy. Now give me, ask whatever boon you want. He says, I want boon. What is it? My mother should come back. Like, not like Ganesha, different head. He is very clear because he knew the story. Suddenly, don't put elephant head. Same head. Same head, same mother. If you have the power to do this, I know you have the power. Bring it back. One says, okay, I'm so happy. Next, what else you want? Second boon, I'm so glad. Take one more. You should accept her as wife. Not a problem. Done. What else? Third is the best always. Third boon is the best. Says she should forget that I chopped her head. She should not even remember the entire episode. Everything she should forget. Superb. Obviously, imagine. Next day onwards, anytime that fellow takes, she should forget. But he doesn't ask this. Very interesting, in that episode. He doesn't say, you also should forget. That objectivity, father has. The Rishi Jamadagni, he has that. And Parshurama knows that. So when a father gives an instruction, no questions. When a superior person says something, just follow. Don't ask. Don't try to reinterpret it. What we all do is we try to interpret it and then implement. No interpretations. No modifications. Just follow that. That's the value. You see, when you read such things, when you start appreciating these sort of things more and more and more, that is where you develop a particular outlook, particular feeling. That outlook, that feeling is called bhakti. Right? A devotion that comes. If you are an intellectual person, common rule, I said, how do you do that, sir? Common one, satsang. Then, if you are an emotional personality, then bhakti. If you are an intellectual personality, then go through this thinking, application, reasoning. Reasoning, you have to do. What is that? The technique. One of the technique that is used for reasoning is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. Look at it from an opposite side. That irritation. Look at it from the opposite side. That is intellectual. Right. So, through this process, slowly you can get rid of that old memories, which is agitating. That will lose its intensity. And ideal recommendation is, I would say, all three you keep. Right? Satsanga, devotion, and Pratipaksha Bhavana. Right? That's how you do it. Shaucham. Meaning mental purity. It's thairya, the steadfastness, the capacity in you to go through a discipline again and again and again. To do that again and again and again. It's known as abhyasa. When you put it again, it's called abhyasa. Another word. To practice something. Now, the consistency with which you do things, not random. Most of the time, our efforts becomes very random. Yes.
So the good karmas, positive karmas will also fine-tune your structure, mental structure, the karmas.
Yeah, karma will give you that. Positive karma.
Positive,
It will help you.
good karma.
Good karmas. It will.
You
Punya
develop
karma.
that structure. You develop that.
You develop that, yes. Through this positive karma also. Good karma means punya. Punya karmas. Instead of working only for yourself, work for the sake of the others. Loka Sangra. Like today, imagine a person stands and puts distributes water, drinking water, right? It's a person who I read. He goes around every day. He takes water bottles. He fills those water bottles, goes around, and distributes that to all these policemen standing on the road. They're standing. And invariably, it's not 1 hour they stand, 2 hours they stand. They stand morning means evening to be there. He just goes and gives them water bottles. And evening he goes and collects, takes it back, refills. Next day, again he goes and gives. It's so interesting. That is called the Purtadhan. There are two things which are very, very popular in the Shastras. Purtadhan. There are two things to do. Is tremendous punya you get for those two things. They say. One is to clean the tanks, cleaning the water bodies. One. Second one is very interesting. I've seen in the villages, you would see two high stones and a slab. You've seen that? Every village you will find. For what? And it will be a solid stone, not a marble. It's a rock stone. They fix that. All over you will find. Wherever you go, next time when you go, look. You have to go for the older villages. You should go, not to the modern village. If you go there, you will see that. And a slab. For what people would be carrying in those days. Now, to ask the person to put it down and take it back, he needs one person assistance. It's not possible. After putting it on head, walking is easier. But once you put it down and take it back on your head again, it's painful. So what is needed? They fix that slab there. It's just to their height. And they ensure that it is to their shoulder height. And invariably you will find those stones, rough stones. But they don't know how to make it smoother, is it? Why? The stones were kept there, or even a single stones will be there. Some all along, if you see, just a stone. For what? That's only for these animals, no? The goats, the cows, and the buffaloes, the bull, and all. When they feel itching, what do? You can scratch. If you have good flexibility, you can go right up to the middle. You can scratch. At least you can go and tell someone. Right? Animals, what do they do? And they keep getting it. You see? Fixing those stones. Just for them to get a scratch. That's called the Purta Dharma. They explain in the Dharma Shastras. There are certain things which are, kept as a great work. Two things they keep as a very big thing. That is to clean the water bodies and to keep the stones. For these people to keep their weights or the animals to, scratch. They feel itching. It's so interesting to see. And when they do that, you should you should have seen that. I don't know. நீங்க பார்த்திருக்கீங்களா? Such a pleasure to see that. How they'll be thanking a person who has kept the stone there. Identification. That sort of karma. Because I don't know what you mean by good karma. So you don't decide what is good karma, please. Because your problem is you will decide what is good karma. You can't decide, please.
Something selfless.
The principle.
What is good karma?
Selfless is not a good karma. That's not a good karma. That is karma yoga. Good karma means karma performed with unselfish attitude. Remember that. Selfish actions, bad karma. Unselfish action, good karma. Selfless action, karma only, no. You can't say it is not a karma. Of course it is a karma. Selfless action is what, sir? That is known as karma yoga, which is neither good nor bad. So there is no good, selfless karma. That's an oxymoron. No. Good, unselfish action, correct. It's like saying good, selfish action. Is there a possibility of a good, selfish action? Bad, unselfish action? No. The moment you say unselfish, it means what? It's good. Punya karma. You get punya. For unselfish action, you get punya. For unselfish action, you are not guaranteed success in the world, remember. Because your concept of punya also again an issue. Because your concept of punya is what? If somebody is successful in the world, you say, he must have done a lot of punya. Who knows? Who knows? Depends, no? So, punya karma means unselfish action. Unselfish actions will give you punya, merit. It doesn't guarantee success because success or failure is a very different domain. The parameters are very unique. It's not the same thing. That is totally different. But when it comes to selfish, unselfish, selfless, we discuss only with reference to your punya, papa, and moksha. Evolution. Right. So good karma you can do. So good karma means you have to go to the Shastras. In the Shastra, what is given as good karma, that good karma you have to do. Not whatever you keep feeling like. Oh, I think we should start a hospital. Who told you that? I'm not saying don't start a hospital, please. Right? Immediately, we will say, oh, he is against hospitals. When you fall sick, let's see where you will go. Of course, I will go to hospital. But then, why you are doing it? On whose authority you are doing it? So consult the Shastras. Shastra here means not Moksha Shastra. You see, Punya Karma don't come to Moksha Shastra for the discussion. Bhagavad Gita is a Moksha Shastra. For that you have to go to Dharma Shastra. It's like civil and criminal, no? There are certain things which are civil cases, there are certain things which are called criminal cases. Now, if you wrongly apply the rule, land dispute is a civil case. Because of the land dispute, one fellow kills the other. Then what is it? Then it becomes a criminal case. So there are two different Shastras placed. So when they say Shastram Pramanam Te, you have to ask which Shastra you have to go for. You have to go not to Moksha Shastra, go to the Dharma Shastras for identifying what is to be done, what is not to be done. Don't come to Moksha Shastra and ask that question. Because when you come here, Moksha Shastra will say what? Punya Vivarchita Panta. That is Moksha Shastra. Do actions which will neither give you Punya nor give you Papa. That is Moksha Shastra. Dharma Shastra will say what? Don't do Papa Karma, do Punya Karma. That is Dharma Shastra, or what we call as ethics. Ethics is different, philosophy different. Now the tragedy is we have included one of the branches of philosophy is ethics. Ethics, they have made it as a part of philosophical study. Ethics alone. Aesthetics has become part of philosophy. Metaphysics, 4 branches are there. Metaphysics, ontology, and ethics, and aesthetics. This is Naladam. All these 4. If you go to these universities, check for the syllabus. Philosophy department. Now Google you can do. You will find only these 4 subjects. Ethics has become part. Vedanta says no. Ethics is different. Philosophy is different. Philosophy is called Moksha Shastra. Ethics comes to the category of Dharma Shastra. So if you say that I wanted to get Punyam, why Punyam will nullify my Papa, as a result of which my mind will become pure. Once my mind becomes pure, With that pure mind, I am qualified for jnanam. That is why Krishna puts this as one of the qualities here. All these 20 qualities he is presenting here as jnanam. Because you know, I don't know, we are doing chapter 13. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13. In that chapter 13, Arjuna asked 6 very good questions. Remember? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Purusha? What is Prakriti? What is Jnanam? What is Jneyam? Right? Krishna has explained 3 points already. The first 2 points he has explained. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, over. Then he is explaining what is Jnanam. In the discussion of Jnanam, he is giving these 20 virtues. Why he is giving these 20 virtues in Jnanam category? Is because with these 20 virtues alone, Jnanam is possible to you. In English, you can put it as wisdom is possible to you. Knowledge is possible even without any one of these things. You can become a good, knowledgeable person in the field of philosophy. Right? If you study chemistry for 15 years, you will become expert in chemistry. If you study mathematics for 15 years, you will become expert in mathematics. If you study philosophy for 15 years, you will become expert in philosophy. Correct? But can you get the position of a philosopher? No, that you will not get. You will become a good philosophy professor. What is the difference, sir? The difference is knowledge and wisdom. Now, when we say in Vedanta, Jnanam, even though it is translated as knowledge, what we have to understand is we are not referring to knowledge, information, we are referring to wisdom. Knowledge that is digested. That's called wisdom. So if you have to gain wisdom, then you need these 20 qualities. In the absence of these 20 qualities, knowledge, jnanam, not possible. Within bracket, you have to put it as wisdom. So that which aids you to gain that jnanam, in the absence of which it is not possible, means cause and effect relationship gets established. In the presence of it alone, it will happen. In the absence of it, it is not going to happen. Which means this is the cause, that is the effect. In the presence of a cloud alone, rain is possible. In the absence of the cloud, no rain possible. Therefore, cloud is the cause, rain is the effect. That's how we understand. Without a seed, tree not possible. Therefore, seed is the cause, tree is the effect. Similarly, you say, without these qualities, jnanam cannot happen. Information is possible. Intelligence is possible. That is possible here. But is that what these people call as knowledge? No. That's why in English we have a different word called wisdom. Wisdom is different. Knowledge is different. They're not the same. What is the difference? One is digested, another one not digested. So what facilitates the whole thing to get digested? The food to digest, it needs a particular acid in the stomach. If there is no acid in the stomach, what will happen? No digestion. In fact, eating becomes a problem. Same way, in the absence of these gunas, qualities, virtues, if you study Vedanta, it will cause more damage to you than good. Therefore, he says, these 20 qualities you need to develop. Right? Atma Vinigraha. There are certain qualities, Few qualities we don't understand. Right? Few qualities we misunderstand. And there's a third category. Completely misunderstood. Total misunderstanding. Example, Atma Vinigraha. Self-control. Atma Vinigraha. It's self-control. Highly misunderstood. One of the most misunderstood concepts in Vedanta. Certain things you will not understand. Adveshta, Sarvabhuta. You will not even understand. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Which means you will not practice. If you don't understand, you will not practice. Right? That's okay. If you misunderstand, you will start practicing it, believing that you are doing the right thing. If you are not driving the car, you are just there. That's all. You are not moving anywhere. Imagine you are driving in the wrong direction and you are going very fast because you are in a hurry to reach. So you are driving so fast. As the time passes, you are moving away from your desired destination. Isn't it? Where you are supposed to go, you are going totally against it. You are moving in the opposite direction. One is this Atma Vinigraha, self-control. When you say self-control, we have a big misunderstanding. The first misunderstanding with reference to self-control is denying things, denying the senses, the respective sense objects. You restrict, you do not allow the sense to contact that sense object. And there are 5 senses we have, and there are 5 sense objects. And the senses have a natural gravitation towards the sense objects. Right. The Prashnottara Ratnamalika is one of the text. Question answer. The text by Shankara. There he asks another question. Who is the enemy? He says, the sense objects are enemy. And you are running behind that constantly. Your senses run behind that constantly. He says, and you are becoming more and more friendly with your enemy. Fascinating. Imagine you are attempting to be friendly with your enemy. What is going to be the cause? What is going to be the result? Destruction. There's no choice. You can't escape. See, so here it says, the senses has a natural weakness, as it were, towards the sense objects. It gravitates. Restricting, not allowing that to be happening, is called control. So we think what? Oh, that is control. No. So first thing, what are we supposed to do then? Therefore, self-control means what? Don't contact. Depriving the senses, the respective sense contact. That's called a self-denial. That is not self-control. Self-denial means depriving that particular sense, that particular control. Say no. That is not self-control. Right? That's the first misunderstanding. I'm assuming you people will develop your own examples. Right? I'm not going to give examples on all those things. You develop your own examples. Idea is this. Idea is what's the first step, first misunderstanding is a very gross misunderstanding is this. Then the secondary misunderstanding. There's a small group of people who misunderstand in another way. Self-control to be. Now what is self-control, sir? They take self-control to be regulation. See, now what I'm going to do, sir? I'm going to regulate the contact. Self-regulation is also not to be taken as self-control. It's not denying, it is not depriving, it is not even regulation. And regulation is the subtlest aspect of it. And those who have escaped the denial and the deprivation fall into the trap of regulation. That's why you say self-control is the most misunderstood concepts of spirituality. In spiritual, in religion, Vedanta, philosophy, there are a few concepts which are highly misunderstood. How do you explain that? I don't know. But I know for sure it's not these three things. That much I can guarantee. It is not denying. It's not denying the sense. Now, when I say denial, what I mean is denying that particular sense. Next one is depriving. Deprivation, what I mean is, I'm just using words, okay? Understand the grossification. From the grossest to the subtlest, we are going here. The grossest aspect is total denial. I am not going to see anything blindfold. I am not going to hear anything. I am not going to smell anything. I am not going to taste anything. You see, I will always eat tasteless food only. Welcome to my house. Tasteless food. That's what people say. Not my house, huh? Huh. We will not have lunch. Tasteless. I eat no taste. People actually do it. You'll actually have it. I have seen. In Rishikesh, I saw that ashram. There's a particular ashram where they serve lunch, free lunch, for all those, anyone can go and pick up. The sadhus, they come. Nothing much actually. Two roti and some what is it? Potato sabji. They make some potato sabji and give roti and potato sabji. That's all it is. Ask them. They say every day we give only that. Nothing else. Very occasionally we get something different. Otherwise, it's the same things that we give every day. And I was there at that time. So I was discussing with one of the person there. So you're saying, wait. I said, don't go, wait. He said, why? Wait. The man said, I want to meet some sadhus. No, wait. He said. I said, okay, some sadhu from heaven will descend and all. I was, imagining something like that. One man came. He gave 2. And on that only they put this, sabji also. And he said, see what he is going to do. He took that. Straight after taking only, he goes for shower. Takes bath. We take bath and then go for lunch, no? That sadhu is ulta, I thought. He took that and straight went to the Ganges, just flowing there. Down 2 steps you take, there's a Ganges flowing there. You see, this man went in. Along with that, the roti and the sabji, he folded. Along with that, he took 3 dips. Gangarpanamastu, Gangarpanamastu, Gangarpanamastu. He took 3 dips, came out, started eating. So, keep it down, eat, or else have bath, come and collect. No. Asked him, what is he doing? That man says, so interesting. It was so inspiring in one way, but then it is amazing to see that. He says, the vastu for me, the taste is for Ganges. I'm taking the vastu. Vastu is for me. The food is for me. But the taste is for the Ganges. And we think that's self-control. The self-controller. See, that's not self-control. That is denying. Denying taste. I'm not talking about that man, please. Okay? Don't mistake. I'm just giving an example to understand. Denial means what? I'm not saying he is not practicing self-control. Because he doesn't need self-control. Okay? I'm just taking that clue from him. That's all. So remember, mark my context very carefully here. That's why I am warning you. The quality is so difficult to understand. It is very easy to misunderstand. That is why I'm deliberately giving you the same story. Because I misunderstood. I thought it is something wrong actually. Thank God, something, told, wait. Something said, wait and see and speak. Ask. When you stay there only, you get it. So he says, first thing you need to understand is not denial, he says. The idea is that do not deny. Denial means totally that sense is cut. Next one is deprivation. Deprivation is a particular contact is stopped. You see that? It is not that I don't taste anything, but I don't taste a particular taste, particular food. Pizza, I will not have. And we think he has tremendous self-control. That does mean all those who are having pizza are all, man of control. Alal. They say, that I will not have. Why? He thinks that taste is too much. So that particular dish you avoid. That particular taste, that particular contact, that particular thing you avoid. That's called deprivation. Deny all, stopping all is called denial. Deprivation is that particular one. Right? Third problem people see is another great misunderstanding. Of all the three, I say the third is the most. That is regulation. See, regulating the contact. So we think regulating the contact is equal to self-control. That's why a lot of people say, sir, what you are teaching, he is living. I've heard that a lot of times because I teach. You speak, my wife is following. So what is he saying? My wife is better than you. That's all he means. You only talk, man. You are fit to talk. But my husband is living it. That means what? I am not living it. That means you are not living it, but my husband is living. He is living superior, talking superior. On what basis they say? The basis is regulation. Oh, he has a tremendous control. You know why? The moment he heard that he has diabetes, he stopped having sweets. Tremendous control. Fear of life or fear of death. That is why he is not having. That doesn't mean he is practicing self-control, please. See, regulation. Regulate. Regulation is also not self-control. Then what is self-control? No denial. It is not depriving. It is not regulation. First, remove the misunderstandings, wrong understandings. Because if you understand it wrongly, you will not know that your understanding is wrong. And you will start believing as though that is the right thing and you will keep doing it. And it will not produce result. When it is not producing result, you will think something wrong with the concept. See, that's the blunder.
Still get regulated.
Regulation. See, regulation is I will not have, ice cream for 1 week. 6 days, I'm going to stop. Right? That you think as what? Self-control. That is not self-control. That is regulation. Sir, is it wrong to regulate? I'm not saying it is wrong to regulate, please. Don't think you immediately say, oh, you mean to say we should not regulate? I say you regulate. I'm not saying that. You mean to say that you should not deprive? No, I'm not saying you should not deprive. You mean to say you should not deny? No, I'm not saying that. But one thing for sure, what is it, sir? Denial, deprivation, regulation is not equivalent to control. Then what is control? A challenge. Yes.
So intellectually, I know my body requires 2 idlis. It is very tasty. I'm tempted, I eat 4 idlis. Or Or I control myself to 2 idlis. So I know my body requires only 2 idlis. Is it control?
That's called regulation.
It's also-
You are giving an
it's not
example for
control.
regulation. That's all. It has got nothing to do with control. Your body requires. How many things your body will require? Sir, idli, the problem is, idli. Actually, idli is not the problem, sir. The chutney is the problem. Regulation, control. That's an intelligent living. That's an intelligent way of living. You are living your life intelligently. What is it, sir? Body can take only two, now have just two. And there are people, so I'll have 4 idlis. If you are making dosa, 2 dosas. No matter what you keep, I don't care. You can have 15 chutneys also, varieties. I will have 2 dosas. That's all it is. Don't ask me. We think, oh my God, what a control he has. Control, that's not self-control. That is not Atma Vinigraha. I say self-control, panchil. The Sanskrit word has that punch. It is not Atma Vinigraha. Atma here is not, capital S. It's a small s, senses. Atma here refers to the senses. What is the problem? As on date, the first problem we have is we do not even understand that how much your senses are rushing towards the world. There is an urge to rush to the world is there. No? See that? There is an urge. There is a desire. There is a liking. There is a flair. There is a pressure to rush towards the world. Stopping that is called self-control. See that? What has it got to do with contact? You're all with me? There is a natural urge is there. And when we say natural, just because it is natural doesn't mean it should be allowed. Okay. When we say natural, that means what? It means it is a weakness. That's all it is. Today, you are habituated, you are trained. Therefore, it has become natural. Today, it is natural for you to brush your teeth at least once a day. Right? Animals, have you been closer to the animals? Pets, all the dogs. You got to go near the wild animals. That's real. Animal, that's where you will really see what that animal is. 10 feet before itself, you know a foul smell. No bathing, no brushing. From birth. Imagine how it will be. Ew. And it's a non-vegetarian. Eats all sorts of things. And suddenly there is a burp. Avalodhan. Ew. And they don't care. See, they are just there. No issues for them. That's how they identify. They smell. all those animals have a very strong smell. They locate, they identify. From the smell, they pick up. That's why it is, have you seen in the animal channels and all that, National Geography and all that, if you see, a lion when it comes, it will come up to a point and then stop there. Tiger will come up to a point close to the prey. It will stop. It will not go nearer. Because it comes nearer, the prey will recognize it's there because of the smell. So about 10 feet before it will wait. From the 10 feet it will bounce. It will never come, 2 feet closer. It will not. Because when it comes, that speed it has to hit before it smells and it registers and starts running. It's amazing to see how they do it. Why? Because they know the smell. Today, for you, smelling has become what? Brushing the teeth has become natural. Is it natural? If it is nature, then every animal also should go for brushing, no? Senses has a tendency to rush. The rushingness, the running tendency of the senses to the sense objects, that is controlled. That you restrain. Practicing that restraint is called Atma Vinigraha. Thought level, at the mental level. That's internal. It's not external. Whereas denial, they said deprivation and regulation, all three got to do with what? Outside. And just at the beginning of the class, I said what? Anything outside has got nothing to do with the qualities inside. We are discussing inside. So self-control is to be practiced where? Inside or outside? It's inside. Internal practice. So what is it, sir? First dimension you have to understand is there is a natural tendency, there is a rushing happens. That rushing tendency, the running tendency of the senses towards the sense object is pulled back. Restraint. That is called self-control.
So even if there is an urge, that also is external. By then it is.
No, urge is not external. Urge is to move external. The urge is to move towards the world, move towards the sense objects. That urge is where? Outside or inside?
It is inside, but what I meant is, sorry, I was not clear. By the time that urge develops to move, it is already too late to control.
Because-
it will have to be one of those other three. It will not be self-control.
No, it will not be self-control. After galloping, no chance. That is why he says that Vega, restrain that Vega, he says. The force. Restrain that force. That's self-control. The problem is the way we are practicing self-control. See, today self-control is what? These three things. This practice of self-control will always lead to frustration. This denial, deprivation, regulation will lead to frustration. Why? How do we say that? Because one part of you constantly, violently says, I want it. There is a feeble voice inside you says, no. There's no, isn't it? One thing says, I want it. Another thing says, oh yeah. Typical child and parent. When a child is asking something, it will ask how. With such force, it will ask. When the parents say no, do they say with that same force? No, beta. Split. The tragedy here is both are happening in one person when you are practicing self-control. So what is going to be the case? Which voice will be heard? Huh? The stronger one will win always. See? So one part says this, another part says that. Finally, it is going to create a split in your personality. And then what is going to be the result? I'm sure all of you must have heard this story. No? There was a drought in a village, a continuous drought for a couple of years. So the villagers, the chief of the village and all that, they have decided if they perform one puja, one yajna, if they perform, there will be rain. And the appointed day, everybody is going. And this old man is getting ready to go for the yajna. And his granddaughter say, I'll also come. He say, oh, yeah, come. Takes. As they go out, suddenly she stops and rushes back and gets into the house. And she says, he's searching for. Says, what are you searching for? Says, I want to take the umbrella. For what? And this man is like, Edukku? No. For what? And the girl says, it will rain? No. He says, shut up. That means what? One part of him is performing the yajna for what? Rain. Another part of him says what? It's not going to happen. If at all it rains, it will rain for that girl. The conviction that she has. See, do you have the conviction? There is a split. When he says split, we don't understand what is the meaning of the word split. Split another. One hand you do this. On the other hand, in you there is a voice. And there is a noise and there is a voice. The noise says, please, I want it, I want it, I want it. Another thing says, no, 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 no. One says, yes, yes, yes. Another says, no, 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 no. Yes, yes, yes. No, 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 yes, yes. A torn apart. So he says, self-control means what? Atma Vinigraha. See that split. That's why he calls them, hypocrites. In the 3rd chapter. He says, who are those guys? Hypocritical fellows. All those who are practicing self-control. Who are they? Hypocrites. Hypocrite means what? Inside one, outside one. So he says, all do that, sir. But Arjuna, what you should do? You practice self-control. But all those who are practicing self-control, no, hypocrites. But you practice self-control. What do you mean? That means you practice it properly. How do you get there? The courage. Self-control means the courage to say no. But it is not denial, it is not deprivation, it is not regulation. No for what? Not for the contact, not for enjoying the contact. There's another group of people say you control but don't enjoy. That's even more frustrating. Keep the contact but don't enjoy. Highly frustrating that is. That regulation is also not. You say no. Why do you say no for this? Is because you do not want to dissipate the mental faculties, mental energies. Because these contacts leads to those loss of those faculties, the strength. Because you are needing those mental faculties to be applied on something superior, something higher. For that application, you need that energy. Since this energy is needed there, you are not diverting, you are not, what do you say, wasting it. You are not wasting here. Using here is a waste. So since you do not want to lose that energy, because that energy is needed for the higher, and you are convinced that that higher is superior than this, more valuable. Since you understand the value of that, and for that you need these mental faculties, you need this energy. Since that energy is needed there, you can't afford to waste it on these things. If you do that, then it is called Atma Vinigraha. See, not allowing the mind to rush. If that same thing were to be naturally reached a state, if the mind naturally it is not running towards the lower, towards the senses, sense objects, that is called a sannyasa. That's called renunciation. If it is not naturally running there, on its own, if it is not running, that is called renunciation. That is not self-control. Don't say he is a man of self-control. He should be called as a man of renunciation. Don't say he is a MSc student. He is a PhD student. He is different. Okay. Now he is a different level. Mind itself will not run. That has got nothing to do with you contact or you don't contact. That's why the Puranas, they give classic example. Puranas, beautiful examples they give. Yes.
Where is this boundary of self-control? On the one side, we look at the frameworks, the priority.
Yes.
And the other side of it is sannyasa.
No, not sannyasa. Sannyasa is beyond the second also. When the mind has a tendency to run because you are having those mental energies are needed for the higher application, you do not allow this to run towards the world, towards the sense objects. You pull it, you say no there. Then it is called as self-control. But then there is a one step above that. What is one step above that, sir? Mind itself is not running towards the sense objects. Senses have lost its interest. The senses itself will not run towards the sense objects. That is called a state of renunciation. You see? So from there we derive what is self-control. What is natural at the higher, when you strive, it becomes lower. That becomes your effort. That's why in the Puranas they give examples for us to understand this highly contradicting things. How they teach is like this. Durvasa, the sage, Durvasa, he is known for two things. Durvasa, known for his temper and his hunger. Anger and hunger. Durvasa. Right. For all other rishis, rule is one. For Durvasa, different rule. For all other rishis, when they get anger, they lose their tapas. Durvasa ulta. If he gets angry, his tapas will increase. I don't know. That's how they keep exceptions. For every rule, there has to be an exception. No? Exception to this rule is Durvasa. Similarly, he is known for another thing. What is that? Perpetual hunger. Right. And Durvasa has come to Dwaraka. He has come there, closer. Dwaraka. So this Rukmini and all, got to know. Oh, Durvasa has come, so we have to, receive. How do you receive him? Take, things. And they're taking all that, they are going. As a river flowing, the torrential flow, couldn't cross. So they are worried. And they go to Krishna and say, what is it, you all gone, came back, what happened? Say, torrential flow here, we are waiting for it to calm down, then we'll go. It will not calm down. All that you have to do is what? Go there, near that river, go there and say, if Durvasa were to be a Nitya Upavasi, give way. What are they taking? Food. To whom? To Durvasa. What is the request? Nitya Upavasi. And they are very, pativratas. Whatever husband says, they will follow. They went and told. Surprisingly, like in the 10 Commandments, you see, part away and they go. Like that, the river parted, gave way. You see, is he great man? Obviously. They went. And to their surprise, they saw him eating. All that they brought, finished. And he told those people, clean the vessel and give it. And all these fellows, cleaned the vessels and gave back also. Of course, Prashadam he has given them. One, half piece of laddu is given already. Take this as Prashad, give it to Krishna. Okay. Coming back, obviously, now they know the formula. All that they have to say is what? If Durvasa were to be Nitya Upavasi, give way. Nothing happened. They thought, obviously, just how he ate, no. All Upavas over now. Then they went back. Durvasa asked the same question. What happened? Why are you going to go? What is that? They said, no place. Can't give. Now formula different. Password. This way is one, that way is one. Two-way password that is. Next password is what? Now the password is, if Krishna were to be a Nitya Brahmachari, give way, you say. This is too much for their. Who say? Rukmini, who is she? Official wife. Official. And it's not that, Brahmachari life he was leading. Even after marriage, Kalyanam Panni Brahmachari, they say. It's not like that. Not like, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and, Sharda Devi and all. There is living a usual, married life only. And these ladies have to say, what? If Krishna were to be Nitya Brahmachari, give way. Say, cannot be more madness than this. How can you have that? They go and say that. And it gives way. They reach back. Say, atrocious this is. How is that possible? No. Durvasa, Nitya Upavasi also, some justification is there. Rishis here, forget, that's all they are. Forget it. Nothing can be done. They belong to a different category, you say. Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. Who's saying? Wife is saying. Self-control. It has got nothing to do with you contact or you don't contact. It has got nothing to do with quantum of contact. It has got nothing to do with you contact or not enjoy. It has got nothing to do with any one of those factors. Then it is to do with what? The capacity, the courage in you. Self-control is equal to courage to say no to the rushing tendency of the senses towards sense objects. Now self-control. Or say it over. See you next class.